Right. So welcome everyone to the first DCM. DCM is short for Developer Community Meeting. And welcome to the community. If you don't already know, my name is David Yanio. I'm the AI tech lead for this community. And here's my Discord in case you want to DM me any questions you have. So what's the agenda for this meeting? We're going to be looking over the AI beginner document that I just released, the developer community meeting format, not excluding this one going forward. We're going to look into Kaggle a little bit, and then I'm going to give you a sneak peek at the next developer community meeting where we're actually going into a Kaggle competition. The Kahoot, ignore that. It didn't turn out. I wasn't very creative with the questions, and I couldn't come up with it a lot. Sorry. So AI beginner document, it's live. So let me show that in the Discord here. So if you go to the Discord and you go to the AI channel here in the dev communities, so meeting controls. You can look over here to the top where this banner is. Click here, and it pops up this, and you can see the AI beginner doc right here. So you can actually go, and this is what pops up, is a document. Basically, you can go from bottom to top or top to bottom, however you like. It's very intuitive. This is a live document, so it might change over time, but for now, it's pretty solid. You can also go over here to see all the headings, and you can flip through like this, where you can go by the table of contents where it has all the page numbers. Basically go over everything you need. I go through the prerequisite tools, Python, NumPy, Pandas, the machine learning fundamental. This is the math. I'm sure Willie will like this. This is a math and machine learning. It's mostly by Andrew Ng. He's a really cool guy and very relevant in the AI community. I really recommend you follow him. I go over machine learning toolkits like TensorFlow, Scikit-learn, and PyTorch, and give you resources for each one. And then I go over what making a good ML project is about. And a little bit of preparing for interviews. I'm not really super familiar with ML interviews, but I linked to a book by someone who is. All right. You can look over that on your own. Feel free to do it at your own pace. As I've said before in the first GVM, I don't expect you to know everything by the second developer community meeting where we go over the first Kaggle competition. You can just be there, see how it's done, and then you can come back to the document, learn, and then go back to the recording of that developer community meeting and look at it with a fresh pair of eyes, right? Yeah, that's that. So we'll go over what the format is going to be for these meetings going forward. So first, we're going to choose a Kaggle competition. It could have a cash prize or no. I'll try to get the ones with the cash prizes and start you off on those. But they're pretty hard, so don't expect it early. I'm going to demonstrate a solution to it. I'm going to show you how to pre-process the data, how to build the model, and how to evaluate your model and submit it. And then I'm going to get that model and download it, probably through Pickle, or I can use TensorFlow to download it. And then I'm going to deploy that model on Streamlit, which is basically a website. So I'm going to make a website with my model, and you can enter your own data, and it'll give you back the model prediction. It's pretty cool. And then I'm going to make everything open. So I'm going to show you the notebook I have for the Kaggle competition. I'm going to show you the GitHub for the website and the website itself. So the only thing is, because I'm making everything open, I'm gonna have to do very basic stuff on Kaggle. The reason for that is there are actually a lot of cheaters on Kaggle. Shocker, cheaters on the internet, right? And if I make it open and I go ham on the competition to try and impress you guys, people could just steal my notebook and basically copy my work. And I don't want to do that. I only want to help you guys. So that's why I'm gonna be a little bit basic, but I can help you improve on it a lot during my office hours, or just DM me and I can help you as well. Right. So now to introduce you guys to Kaggle. So let's go to the internet. Right. So here it is. It's kaggle.com. I can put the link in the description. You can go ahead, not in the description, in the chat. You can go ahead and register while I'm talking. So once you register, you'll see a view like this. It's basically just a news feed of like interesting stuff featured by Kaggle. On the left, you'll see a hamburger button and your menu. Home is your news feed. Competitions, you can see all the competitions that are currently active. The ones for money, the ones that are not for money. Data sets, this is where you can get data sets for your own models or if you want to play around. Code, this is where you can make your notebooks. And notebook software is like Jupyter or Google Colab. It's run in code blocks. I'll show you that now after this. Here's the discussion where you basically have a forum with all the data science nerds. And a little bit of courses here. These courses, they're pretty good. I've tried some of them. You can go ahead and do them as well if you want to get familiar with Kaggle notebooks. And speaking of Kaggle notebooks, let me show you what those look like. So if you go over here to code, you click new notebook, it'll take you to something like this. Now, first things first, I'll turn on the notebook. This is so that I can actually run the code in here. This is auto-generated. It's basically just if you add any data, let's say you want to add a data set like the Omicron daily cases by country, this will basically load it in for you or help you load it in. And as you can see, it's running code blocks, not like in an entire script, but in blocks of code. So you can think of each code block as its own script. So let's say I have the world. That'll do that. You can also have the list like this. And that variable, you can print it out by just doing this. And here's a cool thing, you can go back up here, modify the list, run the code block. You can run the code block with Shift Enter, and you can go back to the other code block and see it again. And it works anywhere. So it has this execution index here. So it tells you which code block is run in which sequence. Let's say I do this again. 8, this 7. So this is the previous list that I had, but modified. If I run it again, it will show up 9. It will show up as a new one. Yeah, and that's how the notebooks work. So let me turn this off and go back to home. So then go to competitions so you can see what these competitions look like. So let's look at one of these paid competitions. So we usually have a description of the problem. In this case, it's about analyzing some students' writing. It will tell you how they're going to evaluate your submission, timeline of when things are due, the prizes. Oh wow, these are some good prizes. The code requirements for your submission or your notebook. Then you can go to data. It has a description of the data. And here is the data you have. You can't see it because I need to join the competition, but we'll be able to see it once we get there. You can go to code, see other people's notebooks, discussion. This is the forum for the competition, and the leaderboard, as well as some news. We'll be going over this for every competition that we actually do. And usually I'll already have a submission and I'll go over my notebook. And then I'll open it up so you guys can work with or copy my notebook and work on it. I'll show you how to do that when we get there. Right. I'm back. So for the next competition or the next developer community meeting, we're actually going to do a competition. What I'm thinking is one of the Hello World competitions, just to start it off easy. Some of those competitions with prize money are actually pretty complex, so I don't want to confuse everyone right away. So I'm going to start off with a little easier competition, so you guys can get your feet in the water, and then we'll go ahead. As always, you can stay connected. Please be on the Discord. If you're not already, that's where we're going to be talking. We're going to have our main discussion. That's where I'm going to have my office hours. That's where the beginner document is going to be. So please do that if you're not already in the Discord. And speaking of office hours, on Fridays from 9 to 11, I'm going to be on this voice channel, Help Hub. You'll see me like this. You can come in, ask me any questions you have, and we'll go from there. All right. At this point, are there any questions? So it's like Jupyter Notebook, but online? Yes, sir.
For Kaggle, are all the code, I mean, is it only in Python?
You can actually code in R, I believe, but most of the stuff is in Python. Let me see if there's a way.
I guess I have no choice.
Sorry, I did say that Python was a
just kidding.
prerequisite for this community, though. So
I'm just kidding.
all right, one last thing. Now that I see it, are we using TensorFlow or can we use PyTorch? I'm going to be using TensorFlow, but if you're comfortable with PyTorch, most of the model names are the same. You can just use PyTorch. All right, another thing I'm gonna say is for basically to make the notebooks pretty so I can explain stuff to you when I make these Kaggle competition notebooks. I'm gonna be writing everything in Markdown here. So like my explanation. So let's say I want to do data preprocessing. And I'm going to say something. I have that. And it'd be like this, it'd be like text. If you want to learn how to do this, there's actually a cheat sheet I can send in the Discord. So you can actually put some text in your notebooks as well. And then you don't have to put everything in comments. All right. Any other questions? Any other questions? Comments, concerns? Oof, somebody joined just now. Yo, sorry about that, Carlos. This is kind of a short one, but don't worry, this is all recorded. So this will be shortly on the YouTube channel, and you can rewatch it there. This is on the YouTube channel, right? Yeah. Oof. All right. If you haven't signed in, please sign in. So I know you came. If you don't like the QR code, I can also do the sign in, right? Yeah. Here's a link if you don't like the QR code. All right, any other questions? Questions about the doc? Questions about Kaggle? Questions about ML? It's kind of open mic right now.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know how much experience you have in this, but do you think it's harder to get a internship in machine learning versus web development or anything else?
Yeah. And it's not really because of the skills required, but it's more about experience, the required experience to actually go into the field. If you go into LinkedIn or Indeed, and you go to like a machine learning position, like a machine learning engineering position that's open, you'll typically see like a requirement of like a master's, and not everyone has a master's, so that's a big gate right there. Do you have to write some code in order for your solutions to work? Absolutely. I can show you an example of some competition code. Yeah, if you're a beginner, wait, what do you mean? All right, I'll just show you one of the example notebooks. Here, I'll go to code, and there's no. I was looking for a baseline model there, but I didn't see it. Right, this is pretty good. So yeah, this is loading in the data. They're actually loading it in. We're going to be using pandas as well. And here's one of the markdown that I was mentioning. So it's kind of looks similar to this. Are we going to make multiple teams or work as one team? You decide. If you find someone in the community that's up for a team as well, feel free to join. If you want to make a team with me, hit me up with a DM. Don't worry, I got you. Yeah, it's just going to look like this. I can use R code for these data sets. Like I said, it's most likely going to be in Python. I'm pretty sure you can use R, but I'm not going to be teaching R, or I'm not going to endorse R.
Yeah, that's going to be a hard no for me too.
So definitely Python is more popular anyways.
Yeah.
So I would really recommend you do it in Python. I even have some resources here for Python if you like. I have some free ones and some premium ones. For the courses in the beginner document, I use Coursera, but if you want to use Udemy or Brilliant or whatever, you can feel free. I use Python. Hey, to each their own, you know?
So does Java include artificial intelligence?
There, I was actually looking into it right before this meeting started because Lily asked that for the Android people. There is a TensorFlow wrapper for Java. So if you really like pain, you can do it in Java. Right. But it's definitely gonna be pretty. There's definitely gonna be a lot harder than R, to be honest.
Nothing's impossible.
Hey, I didn't say it was impossible. I said it was just gonna be harder.
Exactly.
Right.
This
Right.
is the way.
I wouldn't say the way.
Do you know where that's from?
Yeah, I do.
Where's that from?
Ugandan knuckles.
No, the
What?
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian? What the hell? Nah,
This is
nah.
the
You
way.
need a lesson in meme culture.
This is the way.
Jeez.
No, I said this is the way.
Bro, this is the way. Do you know the way? This is the way.
Now you thinking about VR chat. We're talking about this is the way, THIS.
Go search up the man. This is the way.
Oh my god. Nah, I don't watch Disney stuff. All right, any other questions?
Okay. How long is this meeting?
This meeting, this one in particular is gonna be pretty short, 30 minutes. But the next one, I am going to try to keep it under 2 hours. Because
And
it's gonna be a lot.
it'll be virtual.
Yeah, it's gonna be virtual. I try to keep all my meetings virtual. It's just a lot more convenient.
Why? Because
But-
you can't get like a variant COVID.
Huh? Variant of COVID, the crypto COVID?
Yeah, because I got COVID once and it wasn't pretty because I had a difficulty swallowing.
Well, you don't have to worry. I don't think you can get COVID if you're in the online meeting. But,
But I'm negative now, so
hey, congrats. You survived.
I'm
Variant's
fully
weak.
virtual.
If you haven't
Fully
signed in
virtual.
yet, please scan this QR code.
so creating AI, meaning we'll create like a live UI.
A live UI?
Yeah, just like Jarvis or
It's ambitious.
Not exactly. Not
Clank.
exactly. Those are definitely AIs that can be made, but not really at the level you're expecting. You can make
Well,
a
so-
chatbot to act like Jarvis.
Yeah,
but
sorry.
if you wanted to like
I keep
make a
thinking
design
of Detroit Become Human.
Detroit Become Human, I mean, you could definitely make a chatbot to interact with a 3D model of a human.
I mean, androids are like AI, right?
Androids? I don't think so. Aren't androids like half human, half robot? That's ambiguous. Question about making
Yeah.
AI app. You have a question?
No, I was just saying that's ambitious.
Yeah, it's definitely is ambitious, but you can get close if you put into effort. All right, any other questions?
Yeah, I have one real quick. I'm actually already enrolled in the TensorFlow premium one, right? Do you think I can just start it, or do you think I should learn a little bit more machine learning and then get into it?
No, you can. They teach a little bit of machine learning as well in
And
the
also,
Coursera TensorFlow.
I guess what is TensorFlow? Is it like an API or?
It is an API, but it also has other tools.
Okay,
It's more of a library, I would say, that has
Okay.
APIs like the Keras API.
okay, all right, cool. All right, yeah, like and for machine learning, they're used like in general, like scikit or.
I mean, we can use Scikit, but it's not really used in the industry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's kind of a more of a learner's tool.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. Thank you.
All right, any other questions? Highly ambitious for young programmers. It did pay off. And if you try to make the app like a chatbot that acts like Jarvis, maybe it will turn out good. Who knows?
Or maybe it might become Skynet.
Or maybe it might become Skynet. Who knows? You don't only know unless you try. You never know unless you try.
Then let's go ask John Connor to get some shotguns.
John Connor, yeah, for sure. If you can find him. All right. Any other questions before I end the meeting? Everyone signed in? All right.
Yeah.
Any other questions before I end the meeting?
Wait, hang on. Give me a second. Sorry. That's it. I have no questions.
All right.
Bye.
All right. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for coming. See
I'm
you in the
good.
next one.
2
Hey.
weeks.
No questions.